Welcome to a YouTube tradition unlike any other. It's the What's in the Bag episode. Gonna do a little practice today and walk you through what is in my golf bag. All the clubs, all the training aids, all the knickknacks. Not a lot has changed from last year, but I've made a few changes that I think you might find pretty interesting. So enough jibba jabba, let's go out to the practice facility. First clubs I want to talk about are my wedges. I'm a 2-wedge player apart from a pitching wedge. I have a 54 degree and a 60 degree. 54 degree I use the MG2 gunmetal finish, and my 60 degree is the high toe wedge. 60 degree has 10 degrees of bounce, 54 degree has 11 degrees of bounce. They're both a degree flat and half an inch over standard. Shaft in them is the Nippon Modus NS Pro 130. I have this shaft in every iron. I don't use different shafts in my wedges. They're X-Flex. Grips, same. I have the same grips everywhere. These are Super Stroke SS Tech cord grips. So yeah, these are the wedges. Now I'm gonna chip a few more and then have to make those putts and talk about what putter I'm using right now. Fun piece of trivia, winter in North Florida is always stupid windy, and it makes making videos just that much harder. So I'm sitting in the cart to talk about the putter. Switched it up. I took Spider X out of the bag, and I talked about that in a video a week or two ago. It's all about putting practice and how putting a different putter in the bag while you practice can be a really good thing because it just gives you a different feel, different look. And I put my old putter back into play because it just got my hands a little bit higher, and when I putt bad, my hands start getting a little bit low. Played with it, and I'm just liking how I'm rolling it. I wasn't unhappy with Spider X. I played almost a full year with it and loved it, but this thing, I'm just putting it back in the bag. I think I'm gonna re-grip it. I have the Super Stroke Traction Pistol 1.0 here. I think I'm gonna put something a little bit smaller on it, like when I first got it. I like the bigger grip on the mallet. On the smaller traditional blade putter, I think I like a little smaller grip. Just feels a little bit better. So 35 inches, TP Collection Juno, kind of the brushed copper version. I have this like 1.5 degrees flat, pretty standard loft, but that is the wand. That's the flat stick. Irons in my bag haven't changed anything from last year. Still using the P730 pitching wedge through 5 iron, 3 and 4 iron. I'm still using the 750s. I find the 750s just that little bit more forgiving, and I can get the golf ball just a little bit higher than the 730s. The 760s and those long irons I found I just hit a little too far, so my gapping was really bad on the top of the bag, and they were a little more draw biased than I liked. All these irons still have that Nippon Modus 130 NS Pro X Flex, half an inch over standard lie loft, all that. Another little tweak I made in the last couple weeks is I took UDI out of the bag and I put gapper back in. So this is a gapper 3, bumped it down 2 notches, so it's effectively my 2-iron. Even if it was at standard, it'd still be basically my 2-iron replacement. I did find it a little more draw bias than I liked, so that's why I kept UDI. But bumping it down those couple degrees opens the face a little bit, and it's allowing me to flight it the way I want it to, but also keep left out of play. And it has the Tensai 90 hybrid flex X shaft in it. I'm really in love with this again. I liked it, I loved it, but I really, really love it now that I've made these little tweaks. And these tweaks actually came thanks to someone that watched that video and said, why don't you just bump it down a couple notches, and that'll open the face, that'll take left out, and it'll get you some better flighting on it, and boom, Bob's your uncle. I can still knock this down off the tee and hit it high from the fairway. The driver 3-wood setup. I mean, it's no surprise to anyone that's been watching the videos for the last little bit. I am gaming the sim. I absolutely love it. I've got the Acra RPG Tour Z in here, 362 M5. It's set to a notch lower and a little draw biased. I'm hitting it further than pretty much any driver I've had in the last few years, and the big thing I notice is the miss hits, they still go really, really well. So that's the driver. 3-wood, have an M5 head cover on this, but this is actually, I've gone back to my 2017 M2 Tour 3-wood. I had an M5 3-wood last year and I liked it, but I found the swing weight a little light on it, and from time to time I would top it, which is strange. You feel like you make a good swing, but then you top it. So it's just not heavy enough, and I haven't got the Sim 3-wood yet, and maybe I'll test it out, but this was one of my favorite 3-woods I've ever had. I used it for a couple years, so I put it back in the bag. I hit it a little bit lower than M5, 15 degrees, it's the bonded hosel. It has a Curricage Mitsubishi 70 gram X Flex shaft. You know, I'm having some fun with the bag, using some older clubs and some new clubs, really trying to optimize my setup so I can play the best when I start playing again. So let's hit some drivers and 3-woods. Getting a little out of control, so I'm gonna go back to the house and talk about everything else in my bag, the training aids and the knickknacks in the garage. All right, out of the hurricane out there, and I'm gonna talk about the knickknack paddywhacks that are in the bag. And to be honest, when I was growing up, some of the people my age maybe will remember Golf Digest magazine used to break down a tour player's bag every month, and it would be a what's in the bag, but I was always fascinated with what the other stuff in their bag was. Medical tape, coins, ball markers, just things like that. I always found it really interesting. So I'm gonna talk about that first. And basically it's what is confided to this valuables pouch. This is a Canadian Tour valuables pouch that I got upon qualifying for the Canadian Tour in the fall of 2007. And I just keep my little keepsakes in here. Batteries for my rangefinder. Gotta have extra ones of those. I actually apparently have 3 of those. Tide to go pen, just in case you spill something on you on the golf course or on the way to the golf course. You can clean that up. Have a marker pen here for any kind of notes I need to take on a yardage book. We go into like the ball markers and divot tools. So I have a USGA one here. I have one from Palm Golf that's like a bottle opener club holder. And then I have one from Hamilton Golf and Country Club. In terms of coins, this is where it's a little more fun. I have like an Adidas ball marker, that Hamilton one, and another Adidas one from the Masters with the peach ice cream sandwich. This is really what I use to mark my ball. Coins from Bermuda. Anyone that's been watching the channel for a while knows that's exclusively what I've been using. I love Bermuda, I love the island, so I use coins from Bermuda to mark my balls on the green. Let me know down below what you mark your golf ball with. It's cool to talk about our clubs, but this is what I'm interested in. What do you use to mark your ball on the green? You can see here, I always keep a speaker with me, throw it on the cart or just on my bag. This is just a Bose micro sound link. Everything will be linked below. If you're interested in my clubs and my aids and this gear, everything will be linked below. This pocket here, there's nothing in there. That's where I just put my wallet, keys, wedding ring. In here, I have, dig into the training aids. This is the Gravity Fit Trainer. It's strapped on your back and it's It's elastic band just to create some resistance. I like this. Dan put me onto this past year, and I do like the feedback I get with this. Kind of a mix between using the plain mate, which he has. This is something a little more portable that I can just stuff in there and use whenever I need to use it. And then in this little pocket right here, we have FlightScope Mevo. Anyone that has been around the channel since last summer knows I carry one of these wherever I go. I love it because it just pairs with my phone if I don't have my iPad with me, but if I have my iPad with me, obviously you can pair it with my iPad. But when I want to dial in some wedges or do a little bit of work, 30, 40, 50, 60-yard shots, 100-yard shots, when I really need to work on my carry distances with the wedges, I love using this. And then when I am playing around with the top of the bag, I will just pop this down on the ground. It's not the most accurate thing for driver in that, but it still is very within a percent or two of accuracy, so it gives me exactly what I need to know when it comes to dialing in those little tweaks when I'm preparing for a round or when I'm just practicing and things are getting a little bit squirrely. Having a launch monitor that's under 500 bucks in my bag is something I've always wanted. I'm very fortunate that I get to work with FlightScope now. So the FlightScope Mevo, I do keep that in the bag at all times. Again, it's linked below. And then I have another little pocket here on the inside of this bag, and it is my live view camera. I've had this in the bag for a couple years now. We've been through a few iterations, a few upgrades, and the Live View Pro is basically what's kind of the standard now. They've been doing a lot of upgrades to the software of it, the firmware, and I've been using the beta testing, and it's unbelievable just how advanced the technology is getting with the software for this. And I love it. It's basically a digital mirror. Put it behind me, put it in front of me, down the line, face on, get to work on my action while I'm swinging it instead of taking a video, walking back behind it, looking at the video, and then trying to rehearse that or duplicate that. I can rehearse what I need to rehearse with this camera, see it right there on my phone or my iPad, and then just go. And I really find coming off injury, this has been something that was really, really beneficial and crucial for helping me get my golf swing where I need it to be. And then the only other thing in this pocket is the rain guard. This front pocket right here, my Rangefinder and Tees. I have been fortunate to have like custom tees from Evolve Golf. I have my logo and my name on them. I'll link them down below. I use a Bushnell Rangefinder Tour V3, and then I have this awesome little thing here. It's a Velcro strap that goes around it, and there's a magnet, really strong magnet right here, so it sticks on the golf cart. Or if you're on a par 3 and you bring a couple clubs up and you don't want to lose your rangefinder, it'll stick on the club. So this Stripe Bird, Canadian company, they sent it to me, and it's amazing. I love it because I can just, again, stick it on the golf cart and I never have to worry about leaving it somewhere or losing it because it's just going to go wherever I need to go. This magnet is heavy duty. So Stripe Bird, it's an Amazon link down below. In this front pocket, the other stuff I have, a yardage book, cover, TaylorMade wrench, obviously. I have a little elastic band always for my legs when I'm working on lower body stability. Some discs for when I'm out playing practice rounds. I throw these on the greens just to anticipate where holes might be. I can chip and putt to them. So these are just freaking Jägermeister rubber coasters. Any coasters will work. And then I have this Par Saver. They sent this to me last year. I did a video about it. I use this from time to time. It's just something that will shrink the rings or shrink the size of the hole. It's a cool little practice aid that I use from time to time when I want to just narrow in my focus on the greens. Pocket over on the other side. The new TaylorMade bag has like a rangefinder pocket, but I find it really doesn't work very well, so I just throw that in the top pocket there. Just have my golf balls, TP5X, nothing fancy. Been using this for a handful of years. And the last thing in here would be my glove, TaylorMade Tour Preferred glove. Has some alignment sticks, and then I also have the Gabe Golf Swing Trainer. Had this in my bag, I think, since like 2018. It's just a golf club that you can hit that Gabe Ketstead, former tour player, coach, tour winner, he patented this, made this. There's a couple ball bearings in the shaft. So this is something that's really good for sequencing. You get to the top of the swing, wait for it to come down, fire away, or you can kind of just wait till it starts, fire away. So it's great for sequencing, great for rhythm, great for speed, power. And if I can't hit solid shots with this, I'm really out of whack. So this is something that always stays in my bag because it puts me in check in a warm-up or when I'm practicing. It's just something I can fall back on that has instant feedback if I'm doing what I need to be doing or not. Only downside is when it's in the trunk of your car and you're turning, you're hearing this go. So it's a bit of a pain in the butt, but you gotta like wedge it into your back seat so it's on a tilt. But really, that's grasping at straws. If you have your music on, you won't hear it. That is my golf bag for 2020. Hope you enjoyed this video. I've made this video for 2017, 18, and 19, so I'll link that little playlist right there if you want to watch through the progression of my golf bag. And like I said earlier, let me know down below what you mark your golf ball with on the green. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.